The Splinterlands community feels pretty split right now. I feel like there's a lot of people that either love it and are bullish and love the direction it's going, or there's the other side where people hate it, they're very bearish, and they are angry at the team and the project in general. Today's video is going to be a little bit more of an opinion piece and a little bit ranty, so I apologize if that's not what you're in for, or if I offend anyone, I apologize ahead of time, but hopefully this creates some good discussion, and here are my thoughts, so let's get started. Hola, hello, kamusta. Today's video here, we are going to be talking about those who are angry at Splinterlands, the team, and the project. Of course, as I said, the community is pretty split, and there are people who love this game who are super bullish on it. But I don't feel like I need to address those people because they're already happy. They're already living a good life, Really what I want to focus in on is the other half of that equation. Those who are really frustrated, angry about the game. And I feel like it's coming from really two sources. One is hey, Splinterlands not banning bots, letting these bots run out of control, and only trying to solve it by removing the starter card rewards isn't going to fix anything. The bots are going to continue to be a problem. And secondly, based on that problem, the card supply is way too high because they base the amount of packs on how many active users they are, with all the bots included. And so right now there is a giant supply of cards. We can't sell through packs, and it's just meaning that there's way more supply than demand. So all of our card prices have gone down, and we are now angry at the team for making this decision and making the amount of packs and reward cards based off of the bot numbers, not actual players and humans. So first off, I do want to say everyone has the right to their own emotions. We can't control how we feel necessarily. Emotions just arise. And I do admit, if I had put thousands of dollars into Splinterlands during the bubble, and now I'm sitting, half my assets and half my value, yeah, I'd be pretty, upset, pretty frustrated. I haven't had that experience in Splinterlands because honestly, a lot of the things I have are gifts. But, I have experienced that a year ago when Bitcoin crashed and I lost, half of my account where I put in $1,000 and I felt like an idiot for investing. I felt like I was stupid and I was just kind of angry and upset at myself, kicking myself. And so I get those feelings, even though maybe I don't understand exactly how people are feeling in Splinterlands. But, I think everyone has a right to feel that way. However, what I do want to say is that we can't change the past. Nothing's going to change the past. And I feel like what's happening is a lot of people are dwelling on what's happened in the past, just building up their anger, building up their bitterness. And my question to you is not that you shouldn't feel that way, but is that really helping your life? Is getting angry at the project, getting angry at your investments, all those things, is it really bringing benefit to the rest of your life? I would plead to you, probably not. So the question shouldn't be what should our emotion be, but what should our response to our emotions be, especially those of us who are frustrated and angry. Essentially, you have four options. One, you can get angry and attack the team, and I've seen that in comments on my YouTube channel, live streams, peaked posts, whatever. I've seen some of that frustration and anger come out specifically towards the team. The second thing we can do is still be an active part of the community and help by giving constructive criticism, which is not attacking the team, but saying, hey, here's how I see the problems. What do you guys think about this? Create discussions amongst other players, create discussions about the team. The third option is just simply sell out all your assets, get out of this project while you can. Even though you're going to take a hit, maybe go put it into a game that you do like, that you are enjoying, and a project that you can get behind. Then option 4 that I could think of is actually just take a break from Splinterlands. Yes, you might lose some value on your assets, but honestly, the rental market is so hot right now, you could rent them out even at lower prices, come back to the game maybe once a month, just checking in on the progress, still get something out of your cards that you're holding, and then just, jump back into the game maybe one day where you feel like it's in a better state. Honestly, with those four options, I feel like every single one of them is viable except for option 1 of just getting angry and being bitter towards the team. For instance, taking option 3 of just quitting the game, finding a different project, just pulling out your investments even at a loss, I think really makes sense if especially you don't agree with the team's direction. The team has been very clear on their goals, their visions, and their stance on bots. They've said it time and time again, but here's another just clip of them saying it again here in the town hall just a couple days ago.
Just asked, how do you think on CAPTCHA? To me, one of these things that keeps recurring in conversations is something like, we want a really decentralized game. Also, we really want you to ban bots. Do you want to kind of talk about some of the flawed logic that might be in that?
Yeah. So first of all, we can and may implement CAPTCHAs for like certain things that we as a company do, potentially like future promo card sales, like the Waka thing or whatever. Generally, the whole concept of a decentralized and distributed game is there is no company, there is no entity that controls things or says who can participate and who can't. And if you want that, there are thousands and thousands of really amazing games that do that, where they can, kick out bots. We're trying to do something different here. And ultimately with like validator nodes, once we get to a point where validator nodes are running everything in the game, right, then the code will be run in a distributed fashion, on servers all around the world. So then, you can't have any centralized person who's like, or company that's validating CAPTCHA and things like that. So we're trying to do something kind of different and new.
As you just heard Matt and Aggro say in that clip, is their goal is to create a completely decentralized game where they're not banning people or bots, but instead changing the economy or the structure of the game to incentivize real players and players that want to build up their decks, or even bots that want to build up their decks and stay on one account. They see botting is only a problem when people are, starting up hundreds and thousands of accounts or multi-accounting even as a human. They want to really encourage players to mostly just play on one account. After listening to about 8 months of the town hall, clearly the team, the only thing that they want to prevent bots from doing is getting up all the promotion sales like Waka or the validator nodes, or we've heard Weird Beard talk about tournaments and having a KYC factor to some of their tournaments. Other than that, they're clearly never going to ban bots. They're just trying to de-incentivize people from making more. If you don't agree with the value and the vision for that the Splinterlands team is putting forward, I would say, yes, just go sell your assets. It's okay. Take a loss. It never feels good to take a loss. But wouldn't you rather be in a project that your vision lines up? I think it's way more important to be backing a project that you value and that your visions align, rather than just seeking out money for the sake of more money. I'm not saying that for the sake of Splinterlands or for my sake of, we want all the negative energy out of here, get out of here. I don't want you to leave Splinterlands. I still love Splinterlands and I love the community. It's not so much for my sake. I don't have much stake in the game, but it's more, I think, for your sake. Just hopefully that you can find some happiness, that you can find a project that you really enjoy. And if that's not Splinterlands, I've said this before, but I'm totally okay with people not liking Splinterlands. That's okay. There's plenty of other NFT projects to go look at. However, if you don't want to do that, maybe you're frustrated but you still believe in the project long term, then that's where option 2 comes in, is to be constructive in your criticism. Don't just attack people or the team. And I definitely agree there are problems with where the game is right now. We've talked about them in videos, the Splinter Talk podcast. We've talked about too many bots, the rewards needing to be changed. The beginning play of this game, the beginners, is just not a good experience. And so there's definitely problems they need to fix. However, every time I've talked with a team member or other people in the community, they actually listen, they engage with the problem. Yes, sometimes like Aggroed and other team members can be a little bit snarky if you're just attacking them. But honestly, I would be a little bit snarky and upset if people kept just attacking me over and over again. But when I see people actually give constructive criticism and try to talk through the problem in a helpful way, that's where I've seen the team respond actually pretty well, and I feel like they are willing to sit down and listen and talk to people. Maybe you haven't had that experience with the team, and I'm sorry, but from my perspective, which is biased, I have seen them respond well to constructive criticism. Of course, that doesn't mean they're going to bend the game exactly to the way I see things. I don't own this project, but I feel like they are at least willing to listen and engage with my opinions, which I find really helpful. Then let's talk about option 4. Maybe you're just not in a place to give constructive criticism. Maybe you're so angry or hurt, or you're so frustrated by your value being lost over these last few months that you're just not in a good headspace. And that's totally fine too. What I would recommend is, if you still want to be in the project but you don't feel like you can engage through some of the rough periods of this project, then what you should do is just maybe rent out your cards. You can still get value out of your assets by renting out your cards. The rental market is hot. You could probably put them at a low price, come back maybe every 2 weeks or even a month, just check in on them, collect your rewards, and then jump back into the game when you see these updates. Hey, the economy has changed. Or hey, some of the bots maybe have gone away with these starter card changes. Now I feel like I can jump into the game again. Just jump into a point where you feel like it's a good enough project again where you can enjoy it, and then just take some time off and go do other things with your life. Life is so short. Why lose sleep over your investments? Now let's talk about why that first option isn't viable. Besides just being, a jerk is never usually a good thing in life. My first argument for this is that I think a lot of us got wrecked in Splinterlands, not because of Splinterlands itself, but because we were investing into an NFT gaming bubble that was eventually going to burst. You would have the same result and probably the same feeling whether you invested in Splinterlands or Axie, Sandbox, Thetan Arena, Alluvium, or really any other NFT project. Unless you were someone that was constantly NFT flipping and making money that way, we were probably all in the red here, those who got into NFT gaming right before that bubble burst. Of course, I don't know every single project because there's so many to cover, but I would guess the entire community would have a hard time finding 10 projects that launched before November and before the bubble that have gone up crazy in value in their tokens and their NFTs are doing super hot. There's probably a few, but probably not many. Secondly, being angry at the team for not directly dealing with bots and saying the starter cards isn't going to work. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be perfect what they're doing, but I think it's going to help some. Based on my bot results, now that they have confirmed that it'll be harder to not just earn DEC, but also season and daily chest by not having the starter cards, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for bots to be started. Now, talking to other people who use bots and have bot farms, of course, those bots who have already ROI'd, who have put some of their profits into buying up cards, they're going to be fine because they already have cards to play with. So yes, this change isn't going to directly kill all the bots, but I think it will help prevent some of the bot growth. It will remove some that just don't have the starter cards or funds to grab them, and it'll help move us forward in this game. I don't think it's a solve for everything, but I don't think the team does either. If you listen to what Matt is saying, yes, that is the main problem he thinks, and he's going to try to tackle that with the team. But I'm guessing they have the analytics, they have the data. They're going to see if the bots are still running like crazy, they're going to tackle it in new ways. I think their goal, as they've said, is yes, we're going to push people to mostly play on or bot one account. We would rather have one person play and go for champion rather than to incentivize, one player that is soaking up silver 3 rewards, playing 10 accounts, even if it's not a bot, by themselves. So I'm thinking this is more just phase 1 of dealing with the bots, and hopefully they'll also jump into phase 2, phase 3, whatever it takes to really balance the economy in a way it needs to be. And thirdly, to the point that they made way too many packs because they based all the numbers off of bots, and now we are just left with so many packs that will never sell out and our cards are going to be worth nothing. In my latest video about bots, we were talking about how many players maybe they are versus bots. Some people even say, hey, maybe there's only like 30,000 players and the other 300,000 plus are all bots. And I didn't think that was true at first, but someone did make a good comment like, hey, even if there's only 30 to 40,000 active players each day, that's still like, even if you're comparing it to Steam games, top 30 on their charts. Even if there's only 30 to 40,000 players active right now, I don't think that's enough of an argument to say that they made way too many packs. I don't remember the exact number, but I'm pretty sure I remember Dwayne saying a few months ago when talking about Chaos Legion that to get a full Chaos Legion deck maxed out, you're going to need 3,000 packs. If you take the 15 million packs and you divide that by 3,000 packs for a max level deck, that's only 5,000 people that can get max level Chaos Legion decks. Of course, not everyone's going to go for a max deck. I definitely cannot. I'm just trying to get it to silver. But that does show that if they push the rewards enough to champion, diamond, gold, even getting more players to max silver is going to burn a lot of those cards. A lot of those packs are going to be needed to be opened to even just hold this player base if they are all really pushing towards the top. Not only that, but having this many packs allows for player growth over time. The team said they designed these packs, the amount, to be enough for the entire year. We've already sold over half the supply in 4 months. Of course, it has slowed way down, and yes, that is a little bit concerning, but I would just say let's pause on that much criticism and say, let's see what happens for the next few months. If we're still sitting, September, October, and we're still only at 9-10 million packs sold, and we have 5 million packs left over, then we can for sure say, yes, they had printed way too many packs. Maybe at that point, they change their mind and finally do something like burning them or doing something else with them. But I think it's still too early to say that for sure there is way too many packs. We never know what could happen over the next 6 months. So for all of us who are bummed out, angry, frustrated, I think, in my opinion, honestly, the biggest problem is that we really bought during a big bubble and that we thought we were FOMOing into this project that was just going to make everyone rich instantly because other people have been made rich before. Sadly, I think we all know at this point that that's not the case. To the team's credit though, I don't think that was ever their goal. They've clearly stated, yes, we want to give value back to our players, but what they're saying is long-term value, you know, holding these assets, playing the game, being part of the ecosystem for 1, 2, 3+ years, not, hey, in 3 months, all these packs are going to sell out and all the cards that you had bought up are now going to make you rich. I don't think the team really had that in mind, which is why they were saying we wanted packs for the entire year. So to wrap things up, yes, I do believe there are a lot of problems with Splinterlands right now, with the bots, with the starting system, and I think the new economy reward structure and how that affects bots, but also players and their earnings is potentially a make or break point for a lot of players. However, for me personally, I've moved past just caring about what is my daily account value because I'm actually enjoying this game. I'm loving playing tournaments. And for me, I just want to get more cards. I want to level up my cards so I can compete more rather than just worry about what is my daily account value. I do acknowledge though, I have been pretty lucky with the numerous gifts from Steve, Mumpoles, and the community that have helped me grow my assets to have more fun in this game. So I do think that yes, they do need to make the player beginning stages a lot better. However, if that's not your experience, if you're not having fun, if you don't agree with the team's decision, I think at this point you probably just need to pull out and find a different project, and that is hopefully going to lead you to more happiness and joy moving on. The team has been pretty upfront about their visions, goals, and values, and if you don't agree with them on those things, then you're probably better off finding another project than fighting against that constantly. For those of us who do stick around for these more rocky times during Splinterlands, I just say, let's try to be helpful. Yes, we can give fair criticism. Yes, we can be negative on things, but let's do it in a way that's helpful rather just than being harmful all the time and trying to tear people apart. There is real human beings behind this game who are working on this and clearly want it to succeed. So on the flip side, when they do something well, let's give them the rightful encouragement that they deserve. Feel free to disagree with any of my thoughts. This again is just my opinions, how I'm thinking about this game right now. So throw it in the comments, throw it in our Discord, tell me where you disagree. Let's get at it. Let's have some fun and create some healthy discussion. But for now, peace out, Palam, adios, and I'll see you guys next time, Crow Crew. Take care.